Welcome to Sudbury Sports Unbiased, your source for no-spin coverage on the Sudbury Wolves, Sudbury Five, Sudbury Cyclones, and Sudbury Cubs, with Rick and Craig. Hello sports fans, Craig here, and we're here at our studio just moments after a World Cup first. A point for Canada. Canada won, Bosnia-Herzegovina won. A draw, and we're going to go through some of the details in this game and tell you who we thought stood out for Canada and who needs to improve their performance. Right off the hop, there was a huge roar, big crowd, everybody was anticipating great things. But somehow Canada didn't come out well in this game. They looked slow, they looked nervous, they looked tentative. This is not the way they normally play. But credit to Bosnia and Herzegovina. This is a big physical team, and this height and physicality caused Canada huge problems in this game. Bosnia won many duels in midfield, and it really stalled the Canadian attack when they tried to move forward. Bosnia took over things as the first half went on, and it took them until the 21st minute to get their first big opportunity of the match. Off a corner kick, Novo Lukic headed the ball past Max Kripo, and all of a sudden, Toronto Stadium went silent. Bosnia-Herzegovina won, Canada 0. And it took Canada a few minutes to recover from that. They looked like they were stunned. They were surprised, and they looked like they were in a bit of shock. Canada did bounce back a bit. They had a couple of big chances in the first half. Jonathan David had a great chance from about 12 yards out. An easy save for the Bosnian keeper. Tani Oluwashai had a good chance as well, but Tani missed the mark, as he does so often. Canada looked a little bit confused as they went to the locker room, down 1-0 at halftime. Coach Jesse Marsch is a patient individual most of the time, but you could tell today that he was frustrated. His strikers were giving him absolutely nothing, and Tajon Buchanan was absolutely terrible today. Buchanan had trouble getting around the big Bosnian defense. He was ineffective. Jonathan David had his worst game in a Canadian shirt in many years, and Tani Oluwashai was not impactful. Jesse Marsch did something I've never seen him do since he's become the coach of the Canadian men's national team. He subbed off both of his strikers. It was David for David in the 61st minute. Promise David came on. Jonathan David came off. I'm sorry, Jonathan David, you may play Juventus, but if you can't play better than that, you deserve to be subbed off. And then in the 76th minute, there was a change. Kyle Larin came on the field, and Tani Oluwashai was taken to the bench. That was the catalyst for a big Canadian moment. Promise David made a short pass from just outside the box to Kyle Larin. Larin turned and fired a hard shot that found the net behind the Bosnian keeper. Toronto Stadium erupted as Canada tied the game 1-1. And that was the goal that seemed to unlock things for the Canadian team. Canada looked tight. They looked confused. But they started to take the play more and more to the Bosnia-Herzegovina team. They had some chances, but they couldn't find a winning goal. It was a little bit disjointed at the end as both teams played their hearts out, played hard, played physically, and there were plenty of loose balls and great action throughout the match. Canada did control the play for the most part. They had 60% possession. They had 12 shots on goal and 4 on target. Bosnia had 7 shots and 3 on target. So who impressed me for Canada today? Well, the first person who really impressed me today with an outstanding game was young Luc de Fougerolles. Luc de Fougerolles is under great pressure at this tournament. He is 20 years old. This guy is way too inexperienced to be this good. Or is he this good? I think he is this good. He had a tremendous game. He was steady in the back line. He did not look out of place. Derek Cornelius was also solid. And Richie Laryea, what can you say about Richie Laryea? Richie Laryea puts in a shift every time he puts on the Canada shirt. He did a great job defending, and he was also impactful moving the ball forward in the Bosnian half. He had a great game today. There were other good performances, but those were the 2 performances that stood out most to me. Canada could have had a better fate. They had opportunities, but they couldn't cash them in. Fortunately, they did come back when they needed it most, and they grabbed a very valuable point in Group B. This is a team now that might be dangerous. They've got that first point. They've got that first goal. They might have momentum, and they're getting more healthy bodies back. There were other players that also played well off the bench. Ali Ahmed came on, and in his brief time, he was also influential. And I can't forget Ismail Kone. Ismail Kone, when he had the ball, he made things happen. He made nice passes to his wingers, and he tried to find people, and he was generally very effective. We need more from Stefan Eustachio. Eustachio had a good game, but he can play a whole lot better. Overall, a decent performance for Canada. Nothing to get too excited about. A point is a point, and in this competition, points mean everything. If this game would have been a loss for Canada, this would have been very, very difficult. Would have put Canada behind the 8 ball, and now they still have a chance to move forward. I expect a better Canadian performance in the next game. I do expect that Jesse Marsh may make some lineup changes. Liam Miller was not good today. I didn't feel he played well, and he may be replaced on the wing. Jacob Schaffelberg looked good off the bench, and I would use Schaffelberg. His pace, his speed changes things, and it makes it better for Canada on the offensive side. Next up for Canada, 6 days from now in Vancouver, they will play Qatar. That is a winnable game, and I have to tell you, that is a must-win game for Canada. If Canada can get to 4 points, regardless of what happens in their final group stage match versus Switzerland, there is an excellent chance that they will move on to the group stage. So, if we were to recap today, I'd give the team about a C+. They did some things well. They have to improve on certain other things. They have to get tougher in the midfield. They have to be tougher in their defensive 18 in front of the goal. But there were a lot of good things. Good hustle, good Canadian grit, and a comeback for this team. That first point is historic and momentous. If you like what you were hearing, hit like and subscribe. Until next time, let the sports be with you.